Hello everyone, this is Mehran. I'm here with a book review. This one, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. First things first, hit the subscribe button and the little bell as well to get a notification when my next video is out. Let's start. A spoiler alert, this book is going to question everything, literally everything that you have in mind, so be ready to put your guard down and listen to the things that this smart guy tells you. Overall, nothing bad happens from listening to a man talking about unusual things. And just remember that from now on I will call the F word just F till the end of the video. Enough with the pre-talk, let's get to the book itself and the things that I learned from it. First, the thing that made me love this book in the first place was the fact that it seemed like Mark Manson had written this book for my personality. And I know that it would be true for most of you guys too. In the first chapter, he says that there is something called the feedback loop from hell. So imagine that you were upset about a dumb thing. If this ends here, it's perfect, but most of the time it doesn't, and the problem starts when you get upset about the fact that you're upset about a dumb thing, and this becomes a loop. So the moment I read this sentence, I knew I was one of the people that suffered from this loop. It is worth mentioning that the solution given in this book is so effective despite the fact that it's so simple. It says that if you accept you're bad at something and the bad behavior in your life, most of your problems will be solved, including the feedback loop from hell. So the first lesson that I learned from this book is accept everything regardless of the goodness or badness. Of course, the former is easy and we are most of the time proud of the good things that we have done in our lives. The hard part is the latter, to accept that you are bad at something and be okay with it. This way you will learn a lot and try to improve yourself all the time. Then we come to giving an F about something. As we can see from the book cover, it has a lot to tell you in this field. It says that whether you realize it or not, you are always choosing what to give an F about. And if you think that you are kind of a person that doesn't give an F about anything, you're wrong. And you're actually giving an F about not giving an F. So basically, it's about narrowing things down and giving an F about the things that matter to you in life. And the quote that I want to mention here is, the point isn't to get away from the shit. The point is to find the shit you enjoy dealing with. This is actually the lesson that has changed my life through the years. It's not because of the book, of course, as I have been using this method for more than 5 years. As an example, when I was in the 5th semester of the university, we had a course that involved a ton of programming, and most of my classmates had left the class because it was too hard for them. The moment I started the course, I knew this was for me and I would enjoy the difficulty in the future. I did not suffer, I enjoyed it and got a full mark out of it. And in some cases, I enjoyed coding till 3 or 4 in the morning. And this was the moment that I knew enjoying difficulty thing was an important issue. Third, this book says, and I strongly believe in it, that the pain is a good thing. I know, it's weird. The idea is that when you try to ignore your problems and always stay happy, you cannot learn from your mistakes. So this makes the next point that made my thoughts more organized. Do not ignore your problems and failures. They are the best way of learning things and improving yourself in long term. The other principle discussed in this book is the values you choose to care about. There are examples of 2 musicians. One of them was kicked out of a band and his value was to sell more songs than his former one. He started a band and it was one of the most successful ones in the world, but he wasn't successful at excelling the other one. And Mark Manson says that although he was a successful person, His values were not good and he ended up with lots of money and not feeling success. The second example is another musician who left the band which became famous after some years. When he is asked if he regrets his decision, he says that this was the best decision I had made, because this was the happening that changed me and made me meet my wife and have children. So you see that his values were good, and despite the fact that he didn't have a lot of money, he felt happy, and having a family and being with them was a good thing for him. The last thing that was said in this book was an illustration of a scene that the writer does in the best way. He tells a story about being at the edge of a cliff and getting near the edge step by step, and he emphasizes on one important issue. Everybody is going to die. And then he goes deep and talks about us humans that have two selves, conceptual self and a physical one. We are all aware on some level that our physical self will eventually die, and in order to compensate for our fear of inevitable loss of our physical self, we try to construct a conceptual self that will live forever. In my opinion, this single paragraph is the best explanation that anybody could give about life and the goal we are all after. Finally, despite the fact that I like the book a lot, there was a deny everything kind of approach, and I was disappointed at first. But getting deep into pages, I knew I had judged the book literally by its cover. And this is the reason that I told you at the beginning of the video that put your guard down and read it. You'll learn a lot. To sum up, I would recommend this book to everyone, and I hope that this video was a useful one for you guys. But to get the best out of it, you should read it, because there were so many fantastic sentences that make you think deeply. That's it for now. Do not forget to leave comments and tell me what you thought of the book if you have already read it. If not, just tell me if you want to read it in the future. If you liked the video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe and hit the notification bell for another video. Bye guys!